Babe, I know you're so ready for the one. You're so ready to move on. You see the pattern, you understand the mirror, you understand what's going on here. So you tell yourself, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm ready to move on. And you try to get back out there. You try to stay all high vibe, high frequency. But underneath that, if you haven't actually felt your grief, there is still an ache and a spiral and a self-blame that's happening. Straight up, you gotta feel the depth of the ugly emotions of what happened in your past relationships before you move on. Otherwise, those emotions, those beliefs, they will simply resurface again in your next relationship. And relationships are here to mirror all the unhealed parts of us. So what we can clean up on our own is a really good idea. The big mistake most women make is that this belief that healing from a past relationship means getting over it. But true healing means going through it. These are two very different ways of processing a breakup or the end of a relationship. See, getting over it often entails why the other person wasn't good enough for you. It means building yourself back up again without taking responsibility. Going through it is acknowledging both sides because it takes two in a relationship. So it means acknowledging where the other person, wasn't right for you, where they mistreated you, where there was something off. But it also means taking radical self-responsibility for your part. It also means feeling deep into the depth of grief that you may feel from the loss of dreams and comfort and simply that other person around you. Going through it allows you to repattern your system. Getting over it allows you to bypass the patterns that are living in your system. And that's because this collapsing, this going into the depths is the initiation, and it's really sacred. Women are designed to go deep. We have these wombs that hold depths and the capacity to create anything. I mean, literally, we can hold life and turn two little cells into a human. We need to go deep to process what we've been feeling. And when a relationship starts to dissolve around you, it's actually in this collapse, it is you letting go of everything that you no longer want to be so that it can be composted and alchemized and turned into something new if you let it. When you feel rage, when you feel grief, when you feel regret, when you feel longing, this is your soul, your emotional body, your belief system alchemizing so that you understand the path that you've been walking, so that you understand what your choices, how your choices impacted you and probably other people. This is when the spiritual path in relationship gets real, because this is why we're in relationship, is for spiritual evolution. It's actually in the pain and in the grief because it cracks you open so that you can hold authenticity and truth, so that you can show up in your next relationship, in all of your relationships, truly as you. This opens you up to depth of compassion, not only for yourself, but for other people. The last relationship I had that ended, I moved deeply into a grief portal because there was a lot of loss. And what I discovered in this grief portal is that when I allowed myself to sip on it, meaning when I felt the grief arise, instead of pushing it down, I would let it move. I would taste it like little spoonfuls, and it would move. And it would only often last a few minutes. And then I could continue with my day. If you push things off, they will eventually flood into you, right? Just like we're damming up a river, and then it will take you out for a long time, or it will turn into depression or anxiety. What I noticed in this grief portal was that as I felt the grief around the ending of this relationship, the dreams, when I felt the anger, the sadness, it was this unwinding of belief systems within myself. And I felt myself become clearer and clearer and clearer. And it was an unwinding back into the depth of who I am, a place that I have never touched before the ending of this last relationship. So we're really challenging the belief here that an ending in relationship makes you a failure. It is actually a deep, deep reclamation of who you are. It can take you deeper into yourself than you've ever been before. So, your body will try to protect you from this heartbreak based on the family that you grew up in, based on how you saw emotions being felt. And so, you might find yourself numbing out, you might find yourself rationalizing, and you might find yourself dissociating. This is all okay because this is just how we survive. But the wisdom that you'll access comes from the sensation, from being in the feeling of what it is. When you let your body shake, when you let yourself cry, when you let yourself rage or collapse, you're not losing control. You aren't. It's a very natural process that your body undergoes to release these emotions, these experiences in your body. You can't think your way through heartbreak. Not as a woman. We don't do that. We are deep feelers, and that's a huge gift. And it's a reclamation when we can do that for ourselves. We have to feel our way through. When you stop running from the grief and you feel it, you won't repeat it because you'll feel it so deeply. You'll be like, oh, I don't want to do that again. When you meet that version of you that was hidden underneath the mask of those unconscious patterns, you meet such a beautiful, wild, sovereign woman who is so compassionate and so loving and so fierce. You won't want to hide from her ever again. It is a rite of passage, and it's what most people don't want to hear. And so if you're still watching this video until this point, I truly see you and honor you. You are one of the few who is here to deeply feel. Your ability to deeply feel is a gift to the world. In the next video, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into how your nervous system works and why it's not your type, it's actually your nervous system.